today?
Just looking at it, I didn't think that we caught a rhythm. Never really got into a rhythm. We made some plays, still a little bit inconsistent at times. Didn't perform in the red zone like I wanted to, and it was self-inflicted. Things that we made a couple mistakes there. Really proud of how we responded in short yardage and goal line. Probably the best session that we've had in a long time. But just overall inconsistent and didn't catch a rhythm. I thought the quarterbacks were solid. I thought they were making the right decisions. We just didn't execute. Things moving a lot faster in the stadium. If those guys are coming, there's no coaches on the field to help them. So a lot for us to learn from. So it's a good start, but definitely a lot to work on.
Was not being able to get into a rhythm more a product of what the offense wasn't doing, or going against Clemson?
It's a combination of both, and that's what we tell the guys. Right now in camp, we're getting our system installed, and they're getting their system installed on defense. And there's going to be some calls that won't match up. And had we had a week to prepare and study them, we would know the tendencies. But we're both calling our offenses and our defenses against each other, so some things don't marry up. So it was a combination of a little bit of both. I mean, obviously they gave us some challenging looks. That defensive line is going to challenge you every time you try to run the football. And then there were some things we could have done better from an execution standpoint.
That was just talk about the evaluation process. Not necessarily the result of the play, but if they made the right decision. Can you kind of explain that a little bit more?
It follows up to that last question. Brent's calling his defense, getting his scheme installed, and he may make some calls that may not match up to what we're calling, and so we understand that. And I'm going to make some calls that probably wouldn't be the right call versus the defense that he calls. But again, we're not scheming each other. We're not trying to beat each other. We're trying to execute our system versus whatever we see. And so what he's talking about is when you're evaluating, but did they make the right decisions? And obviously we know that we got to make plays, we got to execute. But are they going through the right checklist pre-snap? Are they going through the process post-snap? Are they making the right decisions? And if you have that, then we'll build on the little things and continue to fine-tune for the next 3 weeks before we play.
Any individuals you can kind of cite as, hey, this guy had a pretty good day?
Thought Overton made some plays in the passing game that we needed him to make. Cannon had a big play for us. I thought Zarek made some big throws. Carter Grooms got in and had a big play. Hunter threw a touchdown on a sprint out, and so there was guys making plays. I thought Travis ran the ball, hard, and not always knowing where he was going, but wherever he was going fast and he was going hard. So I got a lot of work to do there. But one thing I know is he's a tough guy and he's willing, and so those were the guys that jumped out to me. I thought the centers were good with the snaps. I thought the consistency was there that we needed today. And once we watch the film, we'll really see what took place.
It's really the first time that the running backs have been in a semi-pass rush situation. How did they do with their pass protection?
I know there was one situation where I thought we needed to have better technique, and it caused the quarterback to have to step up in the pocket. And then Travis is in a tough situation because he's coming from an offense where he's learning everything new, and so he was swimming a little bit in pass protection. But you got to throw him in there and see what he can retain. So the older guys, I was pleased with what they were doing. They were headed in the right direction. Didn't give up much pressure other than the one where we turned the guy loose trying to cut on an interior pressure, and then I got to get Travis. I got to get Travis up to speed.
What about that battle at right tackle with Pollard and Ankrum? How those two guys?
Both. Ankrum played a little bit of left today, obviously, because of Mitch's situation not being back in practice yet, and so that's a good thing for him. It gives him some opportunity on the left, and Pollard was in there at right, and they're battling. I mean, it's one day, one may be a step ahead, and then the next day the other one catches back up, and that's a good thing for us because that gives us solid depth at tackle. And once we go in and we evaluate the tape, I do remember that Ankrum did give up a pressure on the left side, and he'll learn from it. He's a young man that has a tremendous amount of pride, and he's going against Cleveland too. Cleveland's been out the last couple of days, and when he came out with something to prove today, he was fired up and he was rushing off that edge, and that's going to make us better. And so for those guys, they're battling, but then they're battling each other for the spot, but they're battling against Austin Bryant and Cleveland Farrell, two of the best in the ACC.